Hello for the sixth grade. This is your science video for Thursday, May the 6th. And you have a one or two pages to do here. I believe it's 1, 2, 3 pages actually to do. And we're going to be reading from 284 to 287. Let's look at those pages first. 190 to 192. Don't have much left in your book. Basically, from right here, that's it. Those pages right there. That's all we have left to do. This is our last chapter. We get the opportunity to do some experiments here this time in this last chapter. And so those of you that haven't turned in your other experiment that you need to for your lung capacity, you need to get that done. All right, so we'll go ahead and look at 190. 190 is the backside of 189, which you did yesterday. It talks about the heart in particular. Then you have 2 pages of study guide, or 2 pages of study guide. One is labeling the heart. Always the thing to remember about the heart is that what you're seeing is if somebody is facing you, that's their heart. Okay, so don't think of it, this is your heart this way, this is their heart, all right? It's more on the left side, and you can see it sort of centered to the left, if you were standing there at least, and it would be our right as we're looking at that person. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and look at our reading. And starting in page number 284, which is, let's see here, not too far away. All right, so 284, starting there, it says, circulating your blood. The circulatory system is a transportation system. It transfers blood throughout your body. In this way, God designed your body so that the oxygen and nutrients in your blood can reach every part of your body. Without the oxygen and nutrients, not only would your cells die, but you would die. The heart is at the center of the circulatory system. Blood vessels and blood are also part of this amazing system. The circulatory system is so intricate and perfectly designed that it is almost unbelievable. Your heart. The heart is the main organ of the circulatory system. It is located in the chest between the lungs. Both the lungs and the heart are protected by the ribs. Your heart is only about the size of your fist, but it is very strong. It needs to be strong because it never stops pumping. It keeps blood always circulating through your body. The heart is a hollow organ that has walls made of strong muscle. A slippery sac of tissue around the heart protects it from rubbing against the lungs or the ribs. Inside the heart are 4 empty chambers or sections. These chambers are stacked, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. The upper chamber on each side is called an atrium. So A, top, V, bottom for ventricle, and the lower chamber on each side are the ventricles. Atrium, ventricle. So AV, talking from top to bottom. A is before V in the alphabet. The left and right sides of the heart are divided by a thick wall of muscle called the septum. The right side of the heart pumps blood to the lungs. The left side of the heart pumps blood to the rest of the body. All 4 chambers of the heart work together to constantly pump blood. The upper chambers contract or squeeze at the same time. As they contract, they force the blood into the ventricles below them. Then both ventricles contract to push blood out into the blood vessels. While this is happening, each atrium relaxes and fills with blood. The blood flows in only one direction. Blood enters the heart through the right atrium. When the right atrium contracts, it pushes the blood into the right ventricle. The blood goes through a small flap of tissue called a valve. And so you can see there the little flap of tissue on the blue side. On this side right here, this little flap right there, that is the valve that they're talking about. And it opens and then closes, and it opens and closes and lets the blood through. The valve opens to let the blood through. Then the valve closes to prevent the blood from flowing backwards. The heart has valves between the atrium and ventricle on each side and where the blood vessels leave the ventricles. The right ventricle of the heart, that's the blue side. Remember, we're looking at the right side from the way the person is standing. The right ventricle of the heart contracts to send the blood to the lungs. In the lungs, the blood releases carbon dioxide and picks up oxygen. The blood flows from the lungs back to the heart and enters the left atrium. That's the top right where the red part is of the heart. Okay, it comes in there. All right, and so that's coming in through. You can see those 4 little holes up there. That's where it comes through. It says the blood flows in. Then the left atrium contracts. Its valves open and the blood flows down into the left ventricle. The left ventricle contracts and pumps the blood out into a large blood vessel that branches into smaller blood vessels that carry the blood throughout the rest of the body. This whole process occurs very quickly, and so you can imagine if your heart is beating on an average of about 60 to 75 beats per minute, that's all happening in less than a second. When all the every beat, it moves into a different part, and so boom boom, that's 2 parts it's moved through, boom 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 boom, and so each of those is, so to go through all 4 parts, we're talking about less than 2 seconds to go through all 4 parts. Heartbeats. A heartbeat occurs each time the blood moves completely through the heart. With each heartbeat, the heart pushes blood into the body. The heart beats many times each minute and can only rest between beats. The age and health of a person will affect how many times his heart beats per minute. A child's heart beats about 90 to 120 times per minute. Adults average about 72 beats per minute. A trained athlete's heart may beat fewer than 60 times per minute. The number of times your heart beats in a minute is called your heart rate. You can find your heart rate by counting the times that you can feel your pulse. Your pulse is the push of the blood through the blood vessels. It occurs each time your heart beats. You can feel your pulse several places on your body. The easiest places to check your pulse are probably on your wrist or on your neck. Your heart makes a lub-dub sound as it beats. This is the sound that the valves in your heart make as they close. A doctor can tell much about how your heart is functioning by listening to the sounds it makes. He uses a device called a stethoscope to hear your heart beating. If the sound is not normal, a problem may exist. The doctor may do more tests to check it out. Although your heart is always beating, it does not always beat at the same rate. When you are active, it beats quickly. When you're sitting still, it beats more slowly. Your heart beats even slower yet when you are sleeping. Getting enough sleep can provide more rest for your hard-working heart. And that is, they have found that sleep is a very, very important part of your health. Exercise is important too. The heart muscle needs to be exercised in order to be strong. Hearts that are healthy and strong do not have to beat as often. One part of your heart acts as the control center. This control center, called a pacemaker, is a small group of cells that makes sure your heart beats at a steady pace. Your pacemaker cells send electric currents to your heart muscle. Each electric current causes your heart to contract. These cells set your heart's pace, or the number of times that it beats. Your body gets oxygen from the blood that your heart pumps around your body. Your pacemaker constantly receives messages from your body about how much oxygen your body needs. Your pacemaker then adjusts your heart rate to match the amount of oxygen you need. For example, when you exercise, your body uses more oxygen, so your pacemaker makes your heart beat faster. This pumps blood around your body more quickly. The electrical signals made by your pacemaker can be read by a special machine. This machine is called an electrocardiograph, or EKG. This machine records the electrical changes that happen during the heartbeat cycle. Doctors can use this information to detect heart problems. Your secret word is going to be lub-dub, so make sure you spell that correctly. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.